Alright, what we're working on today, we're working on a fiberglass kit car. This is a car that's been in my friend Pete's shop for a very long time due to unnatural disasters that were caused by this motor and, of course, the transmission. But when this car showed up at my shop, the owner had already worked on the vehicle, and then of course it was shipped from the manufacturer to his house in a crate, and then it was shipped from his house to my shop, which is over 2,000 miles away. And from being moved around so many times and being obscurely, dysfunctionally not mounted properly, it has caused and created a lot of stress cracks. Now, this is, once again, a fiberglass car. So when they make fiberglass bodies and cars and parts, a gel coat has to be applied to the vehicle to give it a nice smooth finish that you see right here. Now, of course, I've already primed this, but everywhere that you see white is where there were stress cracks. And what the stress crack is, it is not in the fiberglass itself, it is actually in the gel coat. Gel coat is a very, very hard substance. You can basically say it's like glass, and if it is struck, twisted, bent, or warped in any whatsoever, it will cause a crack in the gel coat. So we are actually in the middle of fixing cracks in our gel coat. Now, that's what this video is about, is to show you the proper procedure of fixing minor stress cracks in your fiberglass kit car or boat or whatever fiberglass you're working on.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
Now, I hope you caught the word minor. If the stress crack is beyond minor and it is very, very bad, you will have to go to another source of repair to really fix it properly, and that's using fiberglass resin mixed with fiberglass mat to make a paste and then fill your cracks in that way. We're not going to do that, but I'm getting ahead of the situation, so let me show you where we start on fixing stress cracks and how to repair them when you are working with fiberglass gel coat. So what I've done to this car is I went around and I block sanded it out to put it in primer, because when you're building a kit car like this and it takes months, possibly years, you don't want to get the gel coat filthy dirty with grease, oil, and scum. So it's better to go ahead and prime it, and then that way if it gets dirty or you rub on it, blah, 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 you're protecting the gel coat from any substances that might leak in or saturate into your fiberglass gel coat. But before you do that, you should always visually inspect very closely at your gel coat. Now, this repair also is applied to, let's say, previous painted cars that you're fixing, or if you got in a wreck and you cracked the gel coat, you can fix it this way, and then of course you'd have to repaint it. So what we're going to do is we're not going through the whole process of painting the car itself, but we are going to go through a process of how to fix a stress crack in your gel coat. Once again, I've said that 7 times. I hope you are listening, and I'm going to tell you right now, my friend Pete repeats himself for reasons for your benefit. So if you are here and irritated because I am repeating myself, then get the fuck out of here, because I'm trying to teach people that want to learn how to do this shit, not a smart ass fuck ass guy like you that already knows how to do it and thinks he's better than everybody else. Thank you, and all I can say is fuck off. So, back to our stress cracks. What I did is I went around my car and I put tape on the areas that had minor stress cracks. Now, some of these aren't stress cracks, so I'm going to show you that in a minute. But I marked everywhere that there was stress cracks, and now it's time to go ahead and repair our stress cracks. Since stress cracks are hard to see, and sometimes they're just hairline cracks that are invisible to, let's say, the naked eye of the camera right there, I'm going to go ahead and take a pencil to mark the stress cracks on here so you can see them better. And it looks like we got one right here. Here's a stress crack. I'm going to mark that. And then we got a stress crack right here. Here's another one right here that I can even barely see. It goes all the way down. And then here's another one. It goes down like this. And then it comes around like a Y. Now you can already see where I used my tool to dig the stress crack out. And this is the type of tool that you need to use to go ahead and prepare your stress cracks for repair. This is one of the tools that I use. This is a burring tool. You can see the end right there. It comes to almost a sharp, almost to a pointed cone, not sharp, but it's rounded off on the edge. And what I do is I use that as a pencil type tool, and then I'll go ahead and get down in there until I see fiberglass. And I'm taking the stress crack out. Once again, the stress crack is not in the fiberglass, it's in the top coat here, which is the gel coat. So we're going to take our die grinder tool, our burring tool you might call it, and then we're going to go ahead and just draw a line with our boring tool, just like you see me doing right here, removing the stress crack and also beveling those edges and making them round instead of flat. If you saw what I just did right there, you can see that it's a darkish color underneath that gel coat. That means I went down to the fiberglass. I'm not going into the fiberglass, I just went down to the fiberglass. I also overrode my crack by approximately, I would say, a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch. That way it will feather it out this way. And then here's another one right here. See, I did the same thing. I'm going to keep on going, and I'll get all the stress cracks in this area ready and prepared for repair. Alright, I told you that there is other reasons why you get stress cracks in your gel coat, and I'm going to show you right here one of the main reasons this happens. If we look closely at that stress crack right there, you can see that it was all the way down here and it came around and then up to here. What caused this stress crack is not movement in play and twisting the body, but an air pocket. If you look, watch, and listen real close, you can see that this is what caused the the stress crack right here in this area. This is called an air pocket. Look what's going on here. This is going all the way back to right here. So that is another situation that you have from stress cracks in your fiberglass, is a poorly built kit car or boat or whatever you're working on. The fiberglass created an air pocket, and the builder of this particular situation didn't do his job properly and just kicked it out the door. Very, very poor quality control going on here, and that is why this stress crack is here. We also went down the line and I did some more. There was an air pocket right here as well, and I think if you watch real close here, you can see that there was a very small air pocket. Here we go, right there. So air pockets in fiberglass are bad news. Air pockets can cause stress cracks where you think they're stress cracks, but they're really not. It's just a poor quality built piece of fiberglass material that the builder didn't really give about. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and continue to clean out our stress cracks and air pockets for preparation of repair. everything ground down and cleaned out, we're ready to go ahead and repair these stress cracks. Now there is several different choices that you can go with to repair your stress cracks. This is one of them right here. This is a product called Marine Tech. It works very, very well, and it hardens like steel and it sands like wood. Very nice stuff to use, but that is a little bit extreme for what we're working on. That's actually for major disasters where you actually ripped or cracked the fiberglass itself. All we're working with is the gel coat. Now another thing you can do is you can actually take some fiberglass resin, like I was trying to tell you earlier, and you can go ahead and take some fiberglass mat, not cloth. You take the mat and then you cut it up in little pieces, throw it in there, put your hardener in, mix it up, and then it becomes a fiberglass paste. That is good for big major stuff as well. What we're working on, this is a minor situation. All we're doing is filling in the air pockets / stress cracks. I'm moving my hands like you see these idiots on TV do, and they look stupid doing it, but so what? We are moving our hands and being just as polite and possible as we fucking can. What I am going to use is a product called Dynaglass. This is a Bondo / fiberglass filler. This has fiberglass fucking strands of fiberglass in it. Here it is, short-stranded reinforced fiberglass filler. And what we're going to do is we are going to use this for our filler. This is a good product to use. It's basically like a Bondo, but it's reinforced and much stronger, and it doesn't shrink down and holds its retention, so when you put it on, it won't lose its form or shape. And it mixes like Bondo. Now, once again, if we were going to do a major stress crack where it went into the fiberglass, we would be using the other two options, but since this is a minor situation and it's gel coat only, we're going to use the Dynaglass system. So we're going to mix our Dynaglass up 100% thoroughly, making sure there's no streaks or discoloration, everything's the same color. And then what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and start filling these in. We don't have to be real superficially perfect with them because this is filler and we want to put it on there thick anyway to make sure that it's going to fill properly. Alright, now that we have let our Dynaglass dry nice and strong, then that's one thing that's really important when using any type of filler, that you let it dry for a very long period of time to make sure and ensure that it is bonding tightly, it has dried thoroughly, and all the shrinkage is completely done with your filler. Because all filler shrinks, I don't care what you say, everything is going to shrink. So, you know, go work on something else while you're letting that dry, and then come back to it just like we have. So what I'm going to use is a DA sander with 36 grit on it. Now, if you don't know how to use a DA properly, I suggest that you use a piece of 36 grit folded in half. I'm just going to break it down with the DA sander, and then I'll finish it out by hand. But you want to be very careful using a DA sander, even if it's got 80 grit or whatever grit you're using. Be very careful using DA sanders and air tools on fiberglass, because when you're sanding the fiberglass resin, or fiberglass, not the resin, the gel coat, you're actually removing gel coat off of it. So be careful and pay attention. Make sure you always wear your safety glasses and any other safety equipment required for the job at hand. Alright, now that we have broken it down and basically formed it with our DA, we're going to come back with our 36 grit and hand sand it to perfection. Okay, now that I have done my initial fill using the Dynaglass filler, I can now go ahead and use some Bondo or polyester filler to finish it out, and we are done with these stress cracks. You can see that the Dynaglass worked very, very well. Here's where our holes were. These were where those air pockets were. You can see that they came out really, really nice, and all it's going to need is a nice thin coat of polyester filler to feather all that out, and then we're ready for primer. I got some more over here. This was actually cracked all the way down. It had air pockets throughout the whole thing, and I'm going to go ahead and finish those out and do the same thing, repeating my process. And then if we look right here, you can see here's another stress crack. It's right on the fender line of the fiberglass kit car, right down here where the car would possibly maybe be sitting on the ground, and then people would be lifting it up by the fenders, stressing and cracking the situation on both sides. You can see here's some more right here. All right. And then, of course, along that fender line where it meets the body, the same situation. We got stress cracks all the way down, and that is possibly from lifting the car up from the fender, moving the fender, popping it back and forth, and cracking it. But then on the other hand, there was a stress crack right here. That could possibly be caused from installing the metal structure for the door post itself, possibly the steel frame that rides from the doorpost and goes back into the trunk area. There's a lot of situations that can cause stress cracks in your gel coat. There's a lot of reasons why it happens. The best thing I can tell you is just to take a fine-tooth comb and find every single little one imperfection and fix them. Here's one right here. This is called a spider crack. That's a little different. This is caused by something dropping on the gel coat itself. Now, I know it wasn't caused from underneath because this car's never been driven on the street, so at one time something fell onto the fender and it shattered the gel coat. So we'll have to fix that. The way that we do that, we'll cut each little individual line out inside there, and then we'll just go back and fill it in. And that's basically how you fix stress cracks in your fiberglass kit car and or boat or anything made of fiberglass. More than likely, 9 times out of 10, it's not the fiberglass itself, it's the gel coat, because the gel coat is hard as a rock. That's the finish coat. That's the first thing that is applied into the mold, and then the fiberglass is underneath that. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete, showing you and telling you how to do stuff the easy, simple way with simple hand tools and not no funky ass fucking multi-billion-dollar fucking shop full of expensive, extravagant equipment that says I gotta pay that guy $6,000 and $25 million to fix my car. Place, shop, yeah. We'll see you later. Take it easy. Stress cracks are now fixed.